So when you got to when you come out of your house, when you're coming out of your street and you're facing your roundabout, where are you looking when you are approaching the roundabout?
Right.
Okay, where on your right are you looking? Exactly where do you look?
I mean, onto the oncoming vehicles.
Okay, so how are you processing where they're going?
Based on their signalling and their lane.
Okay, so when you approach that roundabout,
Yeah.
when you've come on, where does your left lane go?
Where does
Lane
my
one.
left lane go?
Yeah.
To the immediate exit or the one afterwards?
Okay, and the lane on the right?
It goes to the last one. The latter one.
Yeah, or it will come back around on itself.
Yeah.
A U-turn, yeah? Okay, so when you're looking to your right, are you looking in both lanes or one lane?
I should look at both lanes.
Okay.
But if my lane is empty, I can go in.
Okay. If, let's say, there was somebody on your right on the roundabout, so you're here, you're going to go ahead, lane 2 is on this side. Let's say somebody was doing a U-turn on the roundabout.
Yeah.
And then decided, oh, I've missed my turn, I'm going to come round again. You're not looking for them on that roundabout. As you approach the roundabout, you're there, you're looking to your right at them cars. You're not looking at people on the roundabout there, because they could be coming round while you're coming on.
So I need to look beyond that one.
You need to look at people on the roundabout as well as people coming onto the roundabout. That's the first thing. Second thing, we've only just driven the car, how long? Literally 20 minutes. Now, in that 20 minutes of driving, can you tell me what I've been prompting you the most with?
Sometimes speed.
In what way? Is it to go faster or slower?
Well, mostly faster, but sometimes slower even.
Okay, so when you got to the roundabout and you were taking a second exit, when you come onto the roundabout, can you remember I told you to speed up?
Yeah.
Do you understand why I told you to speed up?
Because...
Who were you speeding up for?
The cars behind.
And the car on your
right,
left.
Okay.
Okay, why? Why the car on your left?
Because I should always be faster than the car on my left.
Okay, when you got to the roundabout, when you come onto the roundabout, you were taking the second exit. Yeah? So this car that was on your left that has to give way to you, he's looking to his right. So if you look to your right at that young lady with that pram, this pillar over here is a blind spot. You enter into her blind spot. She's going to make a snap decision. That decision's going to be made in 2 seconds. You are in her blind spot while that first second is being transpired.
Yeah.
So that first second is going and she's going into a second thinking, do I go? Do I go? Do I go? If she's forgot that you're coming around, you're in her blind spot, she's going to crash straight into you. When you're coming onto the roundabout, make sure your speed is appropriate. But when you're exiting the roundabout, start accelerating. Yeah? As you're going along the road, perfectly fine driving. We're then getting to Mumtaz, do you know the office block? When I told you there's a lot of people of your country in that building.
Yeah.
Yeah. The road's narrow. Look around the corner. See what's going on. See what people are doing. See if people are leaving a place, whatever they're doing. As the road bends to the left, you're driving fine. But you're not looking up into the road and how it's going round. I want you to look around and see what they're doing. I want to be able to take you anywhere reasonably. And I don't believe that that is a problem for me with you. All I need to do is change the way you see things. We're then following the road up and we got very close to the divide line, but you very quickly came into your lane, so there's no issue. Then you go into the end of the road and there's a blue arrow pointing to the left, telling you you can only turn left here. Yeah? When we kind of, we didn't argue, but you felt a bit uneasy when I said you carry on going. Now, the reason why I said carry on going, you've come to a set of lights, your lights were green. On the right hand side, there was lots and lots of cars that were waiting. That means your light was triggered, it was green. It's not going to be long before it goes
Sometimes,
red.
exactly, but on my theory, driving test theory, it used to say, if a light has been green for some time, you should be alert and you should be prepared to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was partly what was misleading in the theory parts which I had to take.
Only thing you need to worry about there is, what do you slow down to? What's the safe speed? Is it 10? You're already in a 20 area. Is it 15,
Yeah.
20, 25, 30? Are they referring to 30? Are they referring to two-way traffic control, three-way control? That crossing has been pressed. That cyclist is going. That cyclist is turning left with you. So there, you'd move out. Now, I needed you to move into lane 2, which you did perfectly well. When the traffic light went green, when they went green, when we turned right there, that was brilliant. You made the turn perfect. So when we turned right, where Park Lane College is or whatever it's called, then when we got to the next traffic lights, where when we signal right to go into our lane, and I told you to cancel your signal, and you did do, then I said to you, would it have been productive to signal there? Now, the reason I'm saying that was I looked at that young lady and she was on her mobile phone and she glanced at your car, then she looked at her phone again. And she didn't see a signal. And maybe she's not a car driver. Now, 2 months ago, you were not sat in the driver's side of a car.
Now
So
now I am a completely different pedestrian.
Yeah.
So I should assume everyone as me before I was driving.
Absolutely.
And act
Yeah.
accordingly. Politely drive. Yeah. Drive politely, maybe. Yeah.
So, well, when I said to you, would it benefit from signaling right? That was like an open-ended sort of question. But it was also for you to probe a bit further, thinking, look, if I was a pedestrian and that person was signalling right, it means they're turning. Shit, they're going to come into my lane. Do you understand what I mean? It's like, I want you to think a bit more about how people cross roads. Because, like you said, they look at signals. When you come to a roundabout, you look at signals. But the car itself is a signal. Your positioning is a signal. Your horn is a signal. Your lights are a signal. You are a signal. Your hands are a signal. So
if I have to signal right, I should signal
yeah,
right.
If it helps
not to endanger the pedestrians.
Yeah. Now the thing is, when there's a person when a person is in the road, they have priority over you. That is it. The only thing is, if you're going to hit your brakes in the middle of the road, you're going to cause an accident. So you need to look behind you before you turn. Anyway, turn was good. We turned right. It was completely fine. We carried on along the road. Lovely. It was 4 lanes. It then became 6. When we went towards York Road, I deliberately kept you in lane 2. Now, I know the area very, very well, so I can cheat and kind of get you ready faster in the area. So when I said to you, stay in lane 2, the reason for that is them 2 buses are going to pull up on the slip road coming onto York Road. So they'll pull up, but the bus behind him will go around the first bus and park up further up. And they play this silly game of going around it, just like musical chairs. But that's how the bus system works on that road. Okay, now the reason, can you remember I said speed up there?
On the far right one.
Why?
Because partly I guess I was on the rightest lane possible. And
what was going to happen in a few seconds? What was going to happen?
The roads were merging. There were large vehicles.
No, the road is merging.
There was another one,
yeah.
Jeep.
But we'll deal with that in a second. But where you were merging with them, weren't you? The ones on your left.
So I had to be faster than them.
So, no. What was the speed limit of the road?
I can't remember,
40.
to be honest. It was the first time I went.
Yeah. It's 40. So if you're doing 20 miles an hour, you're not going to be able to merge.
Yeah.
And you're going to think, oh my goodness.
I'm going to stop the lane.
Yeah. You're going to panic.
Yeah.
You're going to think, oh my goodness, he's going fast. Oh my God, he's going fast. I need to go faster. Oh, I need to go slower. And you're both not driving at the same. So it's a bit like you speaking French and me speaking German. We're not going to communicate until we start swearing. Yeah. Then it's like only a few words we'll understand. So you're traveling at a slower speed. He's traveling at a faster speed. And you're not going to make sense. So if you're traveling at the same speed, you can then work out who's going to go in front and who's going to go behind. But then slightly further forward, you're moving onto a slip road. So you're moving onto York Road. So you're on a slip road of a road that travels at the speed limit, which for them is 40 miles an hour. So if you're traveling at 20 and they're going at 40, you're not going to be able to meet the speed of the road you're going onto. So you're not going to kind of travel at their speed. So if you're not going to travel at their speed, you're not going to be able to fit in onto that road. As you're going ahead, I told you to look in your right door mirror and you saw the black Jeep. Now the thing is, the black Jeep's doing 40 miles an hour and you're doing 20. Now, the reason why I told you not to push your car into that lane was because
faster.
Yes,
for
and
safety.
yeah, and
If I
also
was faster though, would it be my right to take that? If we were equal, let's say,
if
and like approximately the same speed, but he's still slightly behind me,
then it'd
would
be
it be
fine.
my right to take that?
No, it's no. You're going onto a road that he's already on.
Okay. Okay, so it's still his priority.
It will be until
we are reasonable distance apart from each other, such that
yes.
it won't make a difference for him. It won't stop his driving. It won't inhibit his driving.
Okay, so using that against you for a second. So you've looked in your right door mirror at the black Jeep. So I look at the black Jeep. Now, to answer that question, where do you think I look further? With this argument you're having with me now, if I say, well, I look further, I look
way back. What's behind?
Wait, hang on. What do you mean behind the Jeep? How many lanes were there?
Quite a few.
So which lane do I look into?
I mean, my lane and the other lane.
Which lane?
Second, middle.
Okay, the one that he's in.
Yeah.
Why? Do you not think I looked somewhere further? Was there another lane?
Yeah.
Where was it? To his left or right?
I guess it was to his. To be honest, I didn't even pay attention.
To his right.
But it must be to his right because
Okay.
it was like a 3-lane.
Okay.
No,
now,
2-lane.
Yeah.
2-lane.
It was 2 lanes, but we were in 1 lane and our slip road was joining his lane. Yeah. So there was 2 lanes, weren't there? So I looked at the black Jeep. Then I looked further into my mirror to the end of my mirror.
Yes.
And I saw an empty lane.
Yes.
So to answer your question, if I'm coming up the road and I'm traveling at 40 miles an hour, where do you think he first looks? He looks in his right mirror. Why?
Where do I think he first looks? He looks on his right mirror.
Why? Why would he look there when he's...
I missed the first part of the sentence.
Okay, so no, it's okay. He's traveling along this road.
Yes.
He's traveling at 40 miles an hour.
Yes.
He sees a sign on the left, a triangle, which looks like the letter Y upside down, like this. When he sees that, he immediately looks in his rear view mirror and his right door mirror.
Yes.
He then sees my grey car chugging along the road, coming up at about 35 miles an hour. Yes. He then immediately looks in his right door mirror at the lane on his right. Why? What would he want to do? Because it's going in the same direction we are. It's to see if he can move across and let me come out. So he will look in that mirror, and I need to give him time to either move across or adjust his speed. So when I look in my right door mirror, I then wait a second and look again to see whether he's reduced his speed or changed lanes. If it's possible for him to change lanes, he will immediately do so by signaling and moving across. But if it's unsafe for him to go, then he may reduce his speed to let me out. But if he doesn't reduce his speed, he can carry on and I'll go behind him. I will adjust my speed. Once he goes past me, I will then increase my speed, but look in my door, but if it's safe, I emerge. Do you understand how your question is answered there?
Yes.
So you need to look a bit further. Now, the reason why I said, no, don't go, is I know the buses, the slip road that we were in, it's like an upside down letter Y. Our slip road finishes into his lane, but the slip road then continues to be a bus lane all the way up York Road. So I know they will use that, so they will get out of my path, and I can slowly further forward move into that lane.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes.
That's the first thing. Second thing we agreed, I wanted to go through with you today. Can I have my iPad, please? Is a couple of points I want you to understand when you're driving this car. So, in relation to when you're driving my car, okay, so if you have
some sort of
I'm going to go through with you now. Because now it has to get serious with you, and we have to get this arranged. Okay, so if you have an accident, your fault or somebody else's, if there's any damage to property, you must stop at the scene of the accident. Yep.
That was in the theory.
Yep. Okay, it's important that you understand that. If while you're driving my car, if there's any damage to this vehicle that you cause, and we got into something, we must stop at the scene of the accident. Okay. Now, if you are driving your own car once you pass your driving test, It's very important that you stop at the scene of the accident, assess what you've done, and then discuss this with whoever you've had an accident with. You cannot just drive off if you've damaged property. Let's say, for example, you damage something owned by the council, let's say a street light. It will have a marker on there with an identifying number. You ring the council, you tell them you've gone to that lamppost, they will repair that. It's very important that we understand that. Now, let's say, for example, you are driving a car, any car, alone with your wife, with your child, and you have an accident. The first thing you do once you have an accident, first of all, we hope that you're safe, you're well, and nothing is wrong with you. If something is wrong, you must ring the emergency services if you deem it to be an emergency. However, if you ring the police and there is nobody injured, the police won't come to the scene of the accident. It's wasting police time. So let's say, for example, you have an accident, you're turning right here, and it's your fault or their fault. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. What you want to do is stop the car, park the car. First of all, if you can move the cars away without causing any danger or any obstruction to anyone, move the cars away. Move them to the side. But before you do that, try and take a picture of what's happening. Taking a picture would mean take out your phone, hopefully it's charged, make a video of the conditions that you have. So let's say, for example, you've had an accident with this person over here in this blue car. Stop your car, get out of the car, take a picture of his car, picture of your car, his registration, yours, inside the car, inside his car, inside of your car, damage to your car, damage to his, a video of how many people were in his car, a video of how many people were in yours, immediate area. You don't have to admit liability. Do not admit liability. Most insurance companies will void your policy if you admit liability. So you let your solicitors deal with that. You say, look, I've had the accident. You can give him your registration number. Your insurance company or his insurance company will automatically work out who's driving the vehicle, as long as it's insured. Now, once you've given that information to your insurance company, ideally have a dash cam in the car.
Yeah.
I have a front dash cam and a rear. My audio currently is off, but the picture is a minimum of 1080p. So in my dash cam here, you'll see it has a front and rear. My dash cam is on, it's forward facing, it doesn't face in the car. What it does, it has a very clear picture of what happens on the road. Now these are from Halford, so you can buy them from anywhere, more are available, whatever. Minimum is 1080p, mine's 1440, so the picture quality is good. Anything above 1080 will catch a registration number. Anything below 1080p will not catch the number, it will catch the vehicle color only. It's very important that you realize that. Now, what causes accidents is speed. Just everybody slow down.
Yeah.
That's what causes accidents, nothing else.
Exist for a reason.
Do you know the problem is with the speed limit? People think it's a target speed that they have to get there, and they don't.
It's a maximum speed.
Yeah, it's the maximum speed that you should be traveling at for summer conditions, good quality, nice tires in the car, nice, good all-round observation, visibility, and also, most importantly, road conditions. So let's say the road's empty, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there's nobody here, the weather's good, you can travel at 30 miles an hour. But normally you're constantly readjusting your speed. Now, cockpit drills. Now, every time you come into my car and you get yourself ready, you put your seatbelt on, move your seat forward, adjust your steering, that's effectively what you're doing. So for me, that's completely marked off. Now, controls and switches, I'm going to go off with you in a second. Now, when you move off and stop in my car, when you're moving off, you don't look into your blind spot as you move off. I need you to look into your blind spot as you move off. Yes. Every single time you move my car off from a standstill, that must happen. Okay. Controls and switches, most of them are quite easy to understand. You understand them controls pretty well. Now, over here, quite simple. Climate control over here. To turn on the radio mister, that button there, that turns on the heat. Now, mine's an electric car, so the heat is externally switched on. So in a normal ICE engine, as we call it, internal combustion engine, what you'll find is when the engine warms up, the water flow goes through the inside of the heater matrix, so it warms the car up. I don't have that, so you've got to turn that on. Air conditioning's here, so when you're driving my car and it rains, you turn the heater on and turn the air conditioning on, and what it'll do, it'll remove the condensation from in the car, so it won't steam my windows up while you're driving. Yeah. In terms of lights are on this side, they're on zero, automatic, side lights, dip lights. So at the moment, They're on. Keep looking there. They're on 0.
Yes.
Can you twist it to automatic for me now, for me, please? You do that
Twist
for me
it
now?
to automatic.
This one here. This switch here. That one there. Okay. Now that will turn on my lights when my lights when it gets dark, not when it gets dark when it's raining. That's when it's physically dark. So when the sun disappears, my lights will come on. So if it's very 10 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden we get lots of cloud, my lights will not turn on.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a bit like you're in an aeroplane and it takes off. When you go above the clouds, it's pure daylight. That's the technology that this car uses. Every car uses that. So automatic lights will not come on when it's cloudy. It'll only come on when it's physically dark.
What's the point of putting it automatic then?
So let's say, for example, you're driving
Are
my
these
car.
the lights that are underneath and all that come on sometimes?
Okay.
And it's like,
so you'll see all these cars with these small lights that are on.
Yeah.
These are what they call DRLs, daylight running lights. So these lights come on as soon as you turn the engine on in the car.
yes.
They will not turn on with the key. So sorry, they won't turn on with automatic lights. That's separate. So these DRLs, as they call them, they're only on when you turn the engine on. So what it does, it turns on 2 LEDs at the front of the car, and they will permanently stay on. They do not come on the back of the car. So they will come on. So when you're driving the car during the day, you can actually see the car visibility slightly reduced. Okay. Now, in terms of automatic lights, it's like when you're going through a tunnel, they'll automatically turn on. You're going through something very dark. Let's say you're going through where leaves are. Let's say you're going through a forest, like Glenelg Valley Road. You'll find in good summer, when you're going through there, it's very dark when you're traveling along that road with all the trees. When you're traveling through there, what you'll find is this will affect, so you won't see very well, and your lights will come on. So let's say, for example, you are traveling along this road, and on the opposite side, I've got my sunglasses on, and they're on very dark prescription glasses, and I can't see very well. Turn my lights on for me, so you can see a lot better. And plus, if visibility is reduced, it makes others see you better, so you're visible to others as well. And that's why we have automatic lights. Now, can you turn that up one notch, one click upwards? That turns on my side lights, and you'll see there's a green light that's come on. That will turn on the lights around the back of my car and the front of my car. At the front of my car, small yellow lights have come on. At the back of my car, very dim red lights have turned on. So at night, you can see my car. Can you click that to the top? And that has turned on my dipped headlights. So my big headlights at the front of my car have turned on, but they're facing the floor. So if you have street lights and you are traveling along this road and it's reasonably dark, you'd be expected to turn on your dipped headlights.
So these are beam?
No, it's not beam. No,
dipped.
That's
Which
dipped.
one is the...
I'll show you that in a second. Okay. So currently, you have dipped headlights, and they're working now.
What one was the one before again?
Twist it down a second, and that's your side lights. So it's what they call tail lights in America. Okay. So it's like European universally accepted tail lights, but we call them side lights. Okay. Yep. And what it does, it turns on some very small lights at the front of the car, and it turns on the red lights at the back of the car. Now, if you twist that up again, one more click, that dipped now lights is on dipped headlights. That's where your dipped headlights have come on. So that's when you're driving the car, and let's say it gets a little dark or it starts raining. Now, if it rains and you go onto the motorway, turn on your dipped headlights. So I have a rule with when I'm driving my car. If my wipers are on, my lights are on. So if I've got to turn my wipers on, it means I'm going to turn my lights on. So because if I can't see at the window, it means they can't see me. So if I turn my lights on, it's added security for me, added reassurance to me. Yeah. Okay. So now, if you look there, we've got 2 green lights on, haven't we? So we've got the side lights and we've got the tail lights. Now this lever, if you push it downwards, if you do that for me now, touch the lever and push it that way. There. If you look there, we've got but we've got a blue light. Can you see it there?
Yes.
The blue light is telling you it's the main beam. So it's the flash.
Yes.
So that's how you permanently leave that on. Okay. Now the only problem with leaving that on, you're blind oncoming cars.
And it's rude and unacceptable and causes safety problems.
Yes, it does. Yes. So it's very important that you only turn it on when there's no street lights
and when I can't see any oncoming cars.
Yeah. Now there's a bit of an argument, a bit of a joke going around between drivers about BMWs and Audis blinding you with headlights. Okay, now can you do me a favor? Can you turn the lights onto 0 so they're off? Okay, now can you turn it on to auto for me? Okay, now that you've turned on to auto, can you flick this lever down like you did a few seconds ago? Can you show me? Can you tell me what light's illuminated?
Green, but it says auto.
Okay, auto, and can you see that the actual green light, there's like lines pointing out of it.
Yes.
They're pointing upwards, aren't they? They're straight. So it's showing you it's the main beam.
There is a warning sign, the red.
Yeah, that's the handbrake. That's a parking brake.
Okay.
So the green light is telling you now the automatic high beam assist is on. Now, most new cars that are like reasonably expensive, so to speak, what you'll find is they have what they call high beam assist. That means when it gets very, very dark and there is nobody on the road, my main beam light will come on. Then if it senses a pedestrian or another vehicle, they'll go to dip beam. So automatic headlights is on now, but automatic high beam assist is also on. Does that make sense? Do you understand that?
It makes sense to me, yes.
Okay, so now that that's on, unfortunately, this button is not working. Now that button is the fog light switch. So what you need to do?
Lights in the car do not work.
No, they do work, but they don't work with this system.
Yeah.
So what you've got to do, you've got to physically turn on your dipped headlights. Would you remember how to do that?
Dipped headlights.
Yes. Lovely. Okay, so now we've got dipped headlights, but this switch, can you flick this down for me? Lovely. Can you look at your dashboard there? Can you see what? Yeah, that's your rear fog lights. By law, you must have rear fog lights. Front fog lights, not a problem. By law, you must have at least one fog light. So now at the back of my rear fog light.
By law.
Yeah, the front are
fog
not
lights,
optional.
not necessarily.
Optional.
Because is that because you can use dipped headlights in principle?
Absolutely, yeah. So now you've got your rear fog light, which is on.
So we just turned the rear one on.
We turned it on. Now you would turn that on when visibility is less than 100 meters. Okay. Now currently visibility is absolutely perfect, so let's turn it off. Would you remember how to turn it off? There we are. And can you turn your headlights off for me now? Lovely. There we are. That's the lighting controls to the car.
That's nice.
On the opposite side, you've got your wipers.
Yeah. We sort of played with them before.
Are you happy with them? Do you understand them?
I understood them. I might need more practice. But
okay.
Under the rain, I guess that comes naturally.
It will do.
If you want to do that,
it will do. No, we're going to leave that. We haven't got time for that.
Yeah.
Reason for that is it's not raining, so we're not going to worry.
Yeah.
Before you finish with me, you will be using the steering controls. Can you tell me what I'm referring to in the steering controls?
Beep.
And all these buttons.
Yeah.
Especially the left and right.
This is to do with phone.
Yeah.
Do we ever, under any circumstances, is it acceptable to talk while you're driving? Probably not.
That's a
debated question.
Should you do it? No.
I wouldn't do it.
Can you do it? Yes.
So in my exam, it would be acceptable to ignore these buttons completely.
Yes. Yeah, you won't be using. So you won't be using.
What's the one that says talking? Is that like?
That's when you use the mobile phone sort of Siri.
So almost all of this is to do with mobile phone, except these guys.
This is all communication.
Yeah.
On this side, it's all
the sound up turns the radio volume on.
Yes.
Yes. Also the person that you're chatting to, their volume up too.
Yeah, yeah. And what do you think the other button does there?
Oh. Well, this is rotation.
Okay. What do you mean?
And this is like hung up.
Okay.
And maybe.
So why don't you press that up and let's see what happens? Look over here.
Oh, radio.
So it's changing the channel.
Cool.
Yeah. And that one, what does that one do?
Raises the volume.
Oh, yeah.
Change the channel.
Yeah. So, and that one, it's got a little rotation. What do you think that does?
Randomly selects the radio.
Does it? Try it, see what happens. Anything happening? Press it again. And what it's actually doing, nothing else is connected to my car. So if I connect my USB into here,
it makes sure nothing else is connected.
No, what it does, it changes the source. So I could use a USB, I could use this, I could plug in my car radio, so my phone and listen to YouTube or something. So it'll change what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
So from the radio to USB, from USB to my mobile phone playlist to Spotify, whatever I want. Does that make sense? That's on the
It
left.
makes total sense.
On the right, it's all car related.
Yeah.
So that's the car computer. So you've got the adaptive cruise control, and you've got speed limit.
What's that one?
That's an interesting one. What do you think it is?
One of them for sure is the screen. It could be this one, to be honest.
What do you think that does?
Speed limit warning,
Okay.
tire pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I just press it?
Yep. Is anything happening?
Nothing happens.
Okay. So what does it look like? Tell me what you see.
Keep assist.
Okay. So it's lane keep assist. Okay. So that button there is changing the response time. When you have cruise control on, it changes the response time between you and the vehicle in front. So let's say, for example, you're traveling along this road and you have that at 4 bars. It's the maximum time between you and the car in front. What you'll find is another car will go in between you. So it changes the response time between you and the vehicle in front when it's doing the start and stop. So let's say, for example, you are in slow moving traffic and you're only moving a couple of feet every so often. You will reduce that to 1 bar. So each bar represents, let's say, 1 second in terms of response time. The button on the right is, as in this one here, that will change. What does that do? We'll find out together at some point. The one on the left increases the speed and decreases the speed. I'm not going to worry too much about them.
What do you mean increasing the
So
speed?
when you've got your cruise control set, it adjusts the speed.
We won't do that anyway.
We're not doing that for a little while yet. Yeah. And this one here, that adjusts the menu control.
Yeah. Head-up display. Strange.
And that gives you, that's a compass. That's telling you which way you're headed. And that gives you your heads-up display. And it goes through the car sort of computer. So it gives you all the information you need. So let's say you want to adjust the timing of something or the lights or something. So let's say when you signal lefty and touch it, it clicks 5 times. I can change that to 3 or 1.
There's a lane keep assist option. Can I utilize that while
you're using it now?
How does it assist me?
It assists you by, do you feel that gentle pull against your hands? That's exactly what it is.
Sometimes I can tell you're braking.
No, I am not braking.
Really?
That's auto recuperation.
Okay.
If I'm braking, I'll tell you.
You have a nice car.
Thank you.
To be honest, I've never got to know any other cars properly.
So. The thing is with this car, this is a new car. What you'll find is every new car after, especially hybrid or electric, anything after 2020, 2021 by law they have to have this. This is a 2019, so it had to. These were optional extras, that kind of groundbreaking technology. He has it in that car. That's a Chinese version of an MG. They have it. This GLA has the same technology. I don't know if the Range Rover does. I don't think the Kia does, and I know the Audi doesn't, and I know this Ford Fiesta doesn't. So it's important that technology that you have in the car that you understand.
How come it says eco with a green light underneath?
So that's telling me the car that I'm driving, that's the mode I'm driving in. So this button here, if you press that and look down there, and that's put you, press it, it's gone in a comfort mode. Press it again.
Sport mode.
And that goes
so
in
you can
sport
drive
mode.
Fast.
Yes, but then the wheels barely touch the bloody floor and it goes too fast.
Okay, let's keep on echo.
Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what we've got in terms of your driving ability at the moment, this is where we are with you at the moment. No, the thing is, what you need to do, you need to understand where you are with your driving. So you asked me this morning about where your driving standard is. There we are.
Thank you.
That's exactly where your driving standard is.
Once we are all 100, I'm ready to take the exam.
Yeah, effectively, yeah. Now that means one, we've got done. Second one, we've got done. Road junctions. Now, where are we going wrong with your routine, your MSPSL?
Yeah.
Mirror signal, position, speed, look. Now, it's not that you don't do it. It's not that you're not doing it properly. You're not timing it. It's not sequenced correctly. That's one thing we need to work on. In terms of junctions, observation, timing, it's not what you look for. It's when you look for it. Also, what we're doing is when we're getting to an open or closed junction, actually that you understand pretty well. That isn't too bad with you. So you're kind of slowing down when you can't see, but you're second guessing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather you tell me your decision than tell me what you're doing wrong. So, for example, we're getting to a traffic light, and you say to me, I think I'm gonna, you'll say to me, oh, I'm gonna stop. But you're not telling me, oh, well, I think I may need to stop because the lights have been green for a long time. I'm gonna slow down and stop. Then you're making a decision. But you'll ask me a question, that'll engage me in a conversation. I'd rather listen to your decision. I'm gonna stop because I don't feel it's safe. Then let me educate you on that. Yeah? Okay, so we've said that. And what we need to do in your lesson today is we're going to come across a mini roundabout because we need to change this single roundabout star to at least 2. So we need to bring this up a little. So we're going to work a little bit on roundabouts in this lesson today. Also, what we need to do in this lesson today is change your observation timing. So I'm going to ask you to park up a number of times in this lesson.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to park up and move away. What I want you to do is I want you to make sure that you look into your blind spot immediately before you move off. My final point before I say this to you is, if there is anyone committed to going past you, I need you to let them go. Can we both agree on what that word means to you? If the vehicle behind you is committed to going around you, so we can both understand what that word means, because sometimes
the vehicle behind me is going to overtake me.
Yeah, he is overtaking you.
Yes.
So how would we kind of agree that? How would we know he's overtaking you?
He is signaled and he has specific speed.
And you look in the door mirror and you can see the whole of the car in the door mirror.
Yeah.
And the car's getting bigger in the door mirror.
Yeah.
That means he's going around you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've agreed that. We've agreed what? Can you grab that for me, please? We've agreed that could happen. And if it does, you let him go before you do whatever you're doing. Okay, when you turn right from now on, so when you turn off a big road on a major road into a small road, a minor road, I want you to kind of look into the door mirror as you're turning to the right. So kind of sweep into the mirror and look to the right. Yeah.
As I am turning right.
As you're turning right. So you're making
look into this door mirror.
Into your right door mirror.
And to my right.
And to your right at the same
Makes
time.
Sense.
Okay. Why?
So first, I guess I look there because I'm going to rotate my head anyway.
No, I'd look in your.
Unnecessary.
I would look in your inside mirror, right door mirror, and then turn right.
Turn right. Because I want to see if someone is going to come and bump into me,
and
or someone is committed to overtaking me.
Who could possibly be that person where you could potentially kill them?
Bikers.
Yeah. Could be a cyclist, could be a motorcyclist. If you see somebody, you need to very quickly process whether they're going past you. Mm-hmm. If they're on your right, they're more than likely going to overtake you.
Yeah.
So before you turn right, think bike.
Okay.
Yeah. Get yourself ready. Let's move off. Let's get these right turns in. Let's see how we kind of get on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lovely. Mm-hmm.
There's a car coming.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Look into your blind spot as you move off. Cancel your signal. Good if it looked like you're turning right there. We're going to now continue following the road ahead.
It's 30, right?
30 going into a 20.
Okay.
Do we need to look into our mirrors, especially the right door mirror?
Yeah, I guess so.
And then back into the lane on the left. So we try and come back to our side of the road as soon as we can.
Yeah.
And we're now going to continue, stay in the left lane, we're going to continue following the road ahead. Now the speed limit is 20 here.
This could potentially be my test route.
Yes, there's 13 in this test
You
center.
have some on YouTube?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay,
They're all there.
fantastic. All this test center, you
Yes,
have all of them.
every single
I'll
one's
watch
there.
them.
You'll find your video will be uploaded there later on today. This one I'm doing now. So you start to understand how you're driving and you start to understand what you're doing right and wrong. So currently I'm looking at my light picture red. I'm also looking at the far distance. I'm looking at a zebra crossing. There's 2 zebra crossings there.
Yes.
Can you see the blue car at the end of the road?
Yes.
I'm looking at him as well.
Yes.
So I can see if there's any emergency vehicle coming along the road that I may need to take action for.
Like ambulance.
Yeah. Now look in your rear view mirror, gently carry on if it's safe to do so. Now remember the speed limit is 20, so anything between 10 and 20 is reasonable. And now gently slow down a little, scan the crossing. It looks good, gently carry on. And you'll see the blue car's here now.
Yeah. Time goes on.
Lovely
Time
colour.
flies.
Yes, yeah. So now I'm looking at the next zebra crossing and there's nobody approaching yet. Don't go too fast. Now somebody's here, so you will need to stop.
She's teasing us.
Okay, then we carry on. Don't go too fast. Keep your speed reasonable. And reduce constant.
Yeah.
Now slow yourself down. That's it. And watch them compact waste. All they need is a machine. The machine's about 800 quid. And it'll make it into that much.
Yeah.
Now look in the left arm and go around the vehicle that's turning right. Go around him.
Yeah.
From the left, yes. Good. Now keep your speed appropriate for where you are.
Yeah.
Now we were going to go through the marking sheet. I think we've done enough kind of sitting by the side of the road in this lesson. I want to do a little bit of driving with you in this lesson. Now look in your rear view mirror, then carry on because the lights have been green for a long time, which is what you said to me earlier on. Now, the reason why it's so quiet, remember the speed limit, is because it's Eid for the next sort of group of people today. So you'll find what they've done is...
So you did it yesterday.
We did it
today. I'm a bit confused actually.
Forget it, man. It's complex.
Well, even with the quick start,
Oh yeah, these guys are doing it today and we did it yesterday.
these guys
And then whoever they are, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's for 3 days, so they can have it whenever they want.
in charge colleagues.
Right. Now the speed limit is back to 30, but travel at an acceptable speed. That's it. Bit more to the left, bit more. See you behind the black car. Now straighten your wheel. We're now going to follow the sign for the city centre. We're then going to follow the sign for St. James. Bit more to the right, so you don't get too close to parked cars. So keep yourself a door width away from these cars. You are currently slightly too close. Now look in the left arm mirror more regularly because you intend to turn left soon. Now look in the left arm mirror, come into the lane on the left behind a small black car. Now can you see the sign? It's a primary route. Can you see it for the city centre?
Yes.
Which way is it?
That way.
Okay, then let people know which way you intend to go. Now if you signalled earlier on, because this will become muscle memory very soon,
Yeah.
you must remember there's a road before you turn, so you mustn't signal. So you'd signal after that road, which is exactly what you've done now.
Yeah.
Now look in the left arm mirror. Good. Look into the left arm mirror again and keep following the road to the left. Keep turning and gentle brake.
see.
Okay, we're going to keep left, but we're going to follow the signs. Start moving.
Okay.
We're going to follow the signs for St. James. Can you see the sign for St. James?
No, not yet.
Look to your left.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
So taking the first left.
yes, it's a non-primary route. It's a signal left, but when you come into the left lane, cancel your signal immediately.
Right, because we're turning left.
Yeah,
Anyway.
gently move forward because she thought you were turning into this road.
Yeah.
Now signal left again.
That's a strange sign. It suggests that St. James is on the first left. And it's not.
Yeah, okay, that's how you interpret that sign. It's not how we interpret it.
Okay.
The speed limit here is 20. Signs on the right telling you that. So you'll see the sign every 300 yards.
Yeah. I see.
And you'll see it at your eye level.
Yeah.
So the next one's above this red car. The sign after you will tell me where the next sign is. So tell me where the next sign is. Can you see it?
20 over there.
Brilliant.
Boys.
Brilliant.
Guns.
Show me where the next one is when you see it.
Right by the flowery trees.
Okay, there's another one here on the left where the children's sign is.
Okay, I wasn't checking the left. I was focused on the right.
I want you to
Check
show me
left
where.
and right.
Show me where the next one is. Then
Um,
bit more to right.
can't see it.
Okay, keep going till you come. Is there a roundabout here?
There's a roundabout. So
Who do we need to give way to? Here's the roundabout.
coming from
You're
the left.
going over the roundabout.
Yeah. I see. No one. Once
No.
we're making U-turns.
Yes. I like that. That's a good enough. That's a good enough. I like that. Where's the next 20 sign? Show me when you see it.
By the crackers.
One there.
One by the chicken porridge place.
Mhm. Reduce your speed. Slow down. That's it. Follow the road ahead.
These
Left lane.
is great.
Excellent. Well done. At the roundabout, take the second exit. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Try and keep your speed at a reduced constant. You're fluctuating.
Okay.
You're going too fast, okay?
Yeah.
Bit more to the right. You will need to give way to cars on your right. I stopped you there with my foot brake.
Yeah.
Look to your right. The car is now yours. No, you have to wait. You have to wait for them cars to turn.
He's a sloppy driver.
No, she did something different. We can go now. Go. Gently carry on. We're going to follow the road ahead. No, what she did, she took a wide turn. And because it's not the car she usually drives, she went over the pavement.
Yeah.
So she did what we call a swan neck. She took a wider turn. So we can't see any more 20 signs. So the speed limit is back to 30, but travel at a speed that you're in control of this vehicle. When you look in your left door mirror, the two double yellow lines should be very close to your left wheel. So look in the left door mirror now, and that conforms your position. Now look in your right door mirror, as you go past the taxi, a door width away. Now look in the left door mirror, gently come back, conform with the double yellow lines again.
It's a bit like juggling driving.
Yeah. Gently reduce your speed slightly. We're now going to turn left at these traffic lights. I want you to do this on your own, okay?
Left.
Yes. Now we're going to use a cycle lane in your left door mirror as a reference.
As a reference for.
So as long as we're very close to it and not over it. So that's 1 meter away from the curb. Also, you have a cycle lane.
As
You have
we're
to
taking
respect
the
that.
turn.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
And now look in your left camera more often as you turn. Give some gas. Look in the left camera and turn. Now remember, you're the lead vehicle.
Yeah.
So you need to move off more or less very promptly.
Yeah.
At the end of this road, turn left. That way. Reduce your speed, watch the young kid. At the mini roundabout, turn right. This one here. Start your routine for turning right. You need to look in your right door mirror.
Yeah.
Inside mirror right, and then you signal
Yeah.
right. That's me stopping you there, okay?
Yeah, because
Go on.
I was controlling the steering wheel too lightly, and I
Yes.
didn't steer enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're driving the car, I've given you full control again.
Yeah.
The speed limit on this road is 20. You're going slightly too fast. You should be traveling around 7. You're going too fast. I will slow you down. Move a little to the right.
Yeah.
Keep your speed around 17.
Yeah.
So try and control your speed a bit better.
Yeah.
And how do you control it a bit better? Have your foot slightly higher or lower.
Yeah.
So you're giving minimum effort and it's dead weight pushing the car forward.
Yeah.
And you find it easier to travel. And it feels like you're going too slow. You're not. It's a busy area. It's a built up area. Lots of houses, flats, children.
Yeah.
And mostly 20 mile an hour zones are always near schools.
Yeah.
There's school on the left.
Yeah.
Although it's not open today, it's there. Glance at your speed, it's happening again.
Yeah.
You'll feel it. You'll feel the pickup in momentum. You'll feel it in your driving. So, all of a sudden, it'll kind of make sense to you. And you'll be able to predict when the car picks up speed. At the end of this road, we're turning left. Now, I know we're in a 20 zone. You don't know that yet. When you go towards the end of the road, you'll see that big sign on the left. You'll also see one on the right. Can you see it? It shows 30. It means you're in a 20 at the moment.
Yeah.
At the end of this road, turn left. Too much thinking.
Yeah.
Angle the car, then come to a gentle stop. When it's safe, then you go, you're turning left. So you're in a 30, going into a 20. Adjust your speed. There, now carry on. Don't go too fast, it's 20, 20.
Yeah.
But do you see how that's misleading for you?
Yeah.
In terms of you're going into, you think, oh, I've gone into a 30. You're going immediately back into a 20 again. The reason for that, there's a school on the left just after this building.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on your speed, a bit more to the right. Try and keep your speed between 15 and 20. So it's hard at the moment, but it means you've got to adjust your foot on the pedal. I tell you what, I love that colour of that car.
Which one? Gummy.
Yes,
Green one.
yeah, I love
Light
that.
green.
Yeah, I love that.
Kind of looks like pistachio.
Yes, it's lovely that. It's the kind of car that you could never miss. It's just
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
We're now going to take the next road on the right, which is immediately after the crossing.
Immediately after the crossing.
Mhm.
Right.
That way, yeah. I wouldn't signal yet. I would, first of all, see myself where it is.
Yeah.
Once you've seen it, then you do it.
Yeah.
But it's your judgment call, not mine. To turn right here, you have to go past this bollard, then turn.
Yeah.
Now look up at the learner car, then turn. Look in front of you as well. Come off the gas. Come off the gas. That's it. That's fine. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to make that turn.
Yeah.
Now have a plan B. You're still in a 20.
Yeah.
Look at your speed. You're in a 20.
Yeah. Slow down.
Have a plan B. Your plan B is to stop if anyone comes zooming along the road.
Yeah.
At the end of this road, turn left. Mhm. Keep to the right and reduce your speed. Angle to the left at the very end. You're doing it too early. That means you will go over the pavement as you move forward. So straighten your front wheels. Gently move forward until you get to the edge of your road. Then signal again, then turn left. But look at people turning into the petrol station. Go when you think it's safe. Gently move forward and steer very quickly. I'm braking with you there a little. Now straighten the car. Come off the gas a second. Now go back on the gas. We're now going to pull up on the left immediately after this bus stop in the same place previously. So check your mirrors and signal left. Come closer. Gently move forward so you clear the bus stop. Come to a stop here.
How do you know I couldn't clear the bus?
I can see in the top mirror.
Yeah.
You need to be able
Yeah,
to
that's fine.
make sure that you can see the end line of the bus stop.
I can now, yes.
Okay, so now park the car, handbrake on, bring your door mirrors in, so fold them in, your door mirrors. Cancel your signal because you put it on. Okay, quick question. What have I been helping you with the most at the moment?
Speed limits.
Okay, and
Um,
is it speed limits or actually physically slowing you down?
physically slowing me down or getting me faster.
Okay, so going faster hasn't really been an issue with you in this lesson. You've been doing that pretty well. However, I'm now asking you to slow down, which is the reverse of what I've been making you do earlier on. Now, when you're traveling along this road and the speed limit is 30, you need to remember 30 is your maximum speed that you can go to. Anything up to there is reasonable. Between 25 and 30 is perfectly acceptable. And if it's 20, anything between 15 and 20 is perfectly reasonable. If you're going less than 15, have a reason. If you're going less than 25 on a 30 road, have a reason. You are not making your decision. I am stopping you going faster. You need to make sure that the speed that you're traveling at is appropriate with the environment you're in. You're not making that judgment call. I am. But I'm getting paid to teach you, not adjust your speed.
Yeah.
You're perfectly capable of doing it, and I know you are.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we're going to do that circuit one more time.
This time.
I want it done better than that because I know you're capable of doing it better.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, would
Can
you be?
I quickly just check my phone?
Of course you can.
Someone called
Yeah.
me just to make sure it is okay. It's probably some missed delivery, which doesn't matter.
Okay.
Stupid intercom just gives me a phone call every time someone calls.
Okay, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to tone down my tuition law. Let you do a little bit of driving here. Okay, move off when you're ready, please.
Thanks.
I want you to make more mirror checks, more rear view mirror checks.
Yeah, when I'm stopping as well.
Yeah. So when you're changing your speed, going faster or slower, look in your rear view mirror. Oh, that was lovely. I'm looking at the zebra crossing, the first one. This is too fast. That's better. The speed is perfect.
Stop button.
It's fine. No, it's completely acceptable because you're in. Yeah, you're moving. You're following the road.
What's your opinion on strides?
On what?
Strides, the cars.
On that one there?
Yeah.
Citroen.
Yeah.
Would I buy one? No.
I see.
Why would I not buy one? I'm not a Citroen person.
Yeah. How does one's character match the car they drive?
Yes.
I doesn't. What car suits me?
Genuinely, Audi A3,
No.
BMW 3 Series.
No.
I don't mean that in a negative way.
No.
You're certainly not one of them.
Well, it
Maybe,
seems like a family car.
maybe a Skoda.
Okay, yeah. I see.
I see a Skoda Fabia,
Okay.
or Fabia, as they call it, Skoda Fabia. They're beautiful cars. They really, really are. They're nice.
You just brake as well.
No. My foot's about 3 inches away from your pedal. So if you approached it more smoother, I wouldn't have even touched the pedal.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't get close to the pedal. That light's for you. The one on the right's for you. The one in front of you is for you as well.
Yeah. Cool.
But your positioning is much better. I'm referring to slightly pushing it to the left.
Yeah.
Speed limit is. If you go over the speed limit, maybe 1 or 2 miles an hour, they'll let it go. Any more than that, you fail the test. What made you brake? Was it the girl crossing or the light being red? How did I see the light before you then? Right now, the light's red, isn't it? Adjust the speed and approach. There. Beautiful. Oh, I know. You're not the first person to do it. Now look in your right door. I'm going to go slightly to the right, but don't go over the line yet. Now gently pull the car to the left, which feels wrong. Now straighten up and carry on. It feels wrong, but that's how you go around that particular corner. You move further to the right. Okay, so we're following the sign for city centre. Remember, the speed limit is back to 30. Clearly, he's going to go through that red light and kill himself. Yep, he is. Click the lever down. Click it down. Slow down. That's it. Look in the left door. I'm going to go towards the solid white line. Steer to the left. Steer. Steer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, yeah, I know. Yes, I've seen that a few times. I mean, I think it's supposed to be pronounced as Harim, as in Harim Sharif sort of thing. But yes, I know. When you read it literally, the person that thought that over didn't think it over very well. Oh, I know. We're going to keep left unless the left lane's blocked. Now, if the left lane was blocked, left lane.
Keep left. Okay, I see. Sorry.
If the left lane was blocked, everybody would be leaving the lane, so you'd know it's blocked. It's usually blocked where people go to KFC.
So I give a signal to left.
Time the signal correctly.
Yeah, after I.
Yeah, halfway past this road.
Yeah.
So now, that's correctly timed. At home. Did you hear that noise?
Like he was doing it deliberately.
Yeah. Did you hear that noise?
Yeah.
That's what they call forward collision avoidance system. It's one of the reasons why the speed limit is 20. Secondly, that will beep if you're going over 20. It will emergency brake autonomous.
I guess there's a reason why speed limit is 20.
On this road, yes. Yeah. And now look at the red car and see if he's going wide. If he is, he's going to do a U-turn, but he's not.
Yeah.
So you'd have to give way to anyone on that side doing a U-turn, which is what you also told me.
If a driver makes a U-turn, it only means when he made a mistake earlier, right?
Oh, yeah. Keep an eye on your speed. You're gently increasing it subconsciously without being aware.
I am blocking the
No, it's fine. Anybody that's turning into that road would be turning in behind you.
Exactly.
Now look in the left door. I'm going to come into the lane on the left.
Are we going to turn left?
We're going to go ahead.
Welcome, stop. It's red.
Yep, put your brake on. Yeah. That light is actually red as well.
Oh, it just fell down.
Yeah, it's fallen off.
I was looking at that for some reason. This should be fixed. Can mislead. I guess it is. I guess the main point is the pedestrians.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, this will be, we can go now.
So you shouldn't be like a samurai when you're driving a car or doing an experiment that you're 100% familiar with and you're doing nothing else but thinking about the goal aim, but you should be calm and
gentle. At the roundabout, we're going to go ahead now. He's blocking the roundabout. If you can navigate around him, continue. Okay. We can go. We're going to go ahead.
I can. So how are you when you still drive today? Do you often, when you're driving, is there anything else going in your head? Because everything else has become a reflex, such that you can think about other things.
I love the way you put driving so simply, but you're right. It becomes muscle memory. Most roads we go to, I'll give you an example. I genuinely believe Monday to Friday, this is the busiest crossing in Leeds. It's like a nightclub. It constantly goes red. Now the reason for that is there's a hospital there. So it's like we get to remember how the road works, where cars come from, who is on that road, what they're doing, and we effectively teach you guys. Yes, it becomes a reflex. Something at the bottom of his car, probably the exhaust.
Looks like at the front.
Yeah. And now look in your right door mirror because you're going to make a wider turn. And keep an eye on the bus as well. Mhm.
Are we in a 30 road?
We're back to 30 when we went over the roundabout. Now that bus is pulling in. We're going to go around that bus. At the traffic lights, we are turning right again.
At the traffic lights.
Time it. 8 car spaces away. Do it again. 8 car spaces away. That's it. Good. Look in your left arm mirror one more time and stay close to the left of your turn. That's much better from what you did earlier. At the end of the road, turn left again. Now watch out for people turning into this road, so don't get too close to the divide line as you turn left. Stay in your lane. We're turning left here. Let people know what you're doing.
Am I too close to the pavement?
I don't know. We'll see when you turn out.
So, yeah.
As long as you don't hit it, you won't be off my Christmas card list.
Celebrate Christmas.
I'll celebrate anything, me. At the roundabout, turn right, second exit. Mm-hmm. Also, look in your right door and where you're going. Mm-hmm. Good. Better. Much better. Remember the speed limit on this road. And that's why. Stop a second, look to your right and stop. Stop.
Because they might cross it.
There will be. And go when you think it's safe.
Yeah.
Speed limit is
21. 20, but I should be.
mm-hmm.
I'm going over it yet.
By your own omission. Okay, so let's keep our speed reasonable. I'm quiet for a reason, okay? There's no issue with your driving.
Thank you very
It doesn't matter what he does, we're not bothered. We just do what we need to do. At the end of this road, turn left. Yep. Time it. Make sure there's no turnings before your turn.
Yeah.
So we can see the end of the road about 7 car spaces away. So I would have started my routine from here.
Okay.
Speed limit is? Yeah. I just want to hear you say it because if you tell me you're going over the speed limit, you and I will have a chat in French.
Interesting. I used to prefer German to French, but
No, I can't speak it. It's just a very diplomatic way of saying we're going to have an argument.
yeah, I know. A lot of United Nations diplomacy seems to be in French.
Yes.
United Nations that usually does nothing but just.
Well, it's just a token. It's a bit like have you seen the film Life of Brian?
Not yet.
Watch it. It's a very old movie.
Which actors are in?
Oh, it's very old. I'm not going to give you
Brian.
Life of Brian. Watch it.
I have to.
It's Monty Python. It's dry humour, British humour.
Okay.
And that's how the United Nations works.
Okay, I see.
It's a bit like your manager that manages the manager, that manages the manager, that wants to manage, but then the manager manages the manager.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're now going to take the next road on the right, please.
The next road
on the right. Mm-hmm. Speed limit is
20.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And what you're actually watching out for are the people that travel on this road with muscle memory. Because they're the ones that are going to hit the brakes or they're going to be going 40. At the end of the road, turn right. Same mistake you made previously. You're processing it too fast. Correct yourself by steering to the right, or there's your mark the pavement.
I'll go.
Okay. And then if you park up immediately after the bus stop, start your routine from here. Reduce it. You need to be braking harder. If you're happy with it, you're happy with it.
I'll see the bus stop line.
Okay.
I don't want to cover this area.
Perfectly fine. Park it. Nope, park the car first. Yep. Apply the handbrake.
And then stop signal.
Yep, that's fine. And then bring your door mirrors in. Not bad. Well done. Okay.
Thank you very much.
What's going to happen in your next lesson? We're going to get a little bit more kind of aggressive with your driving. Let's get this finished now. Yep. Enjoyed it. It was okay. I've let it go on our live stream, so when you go home, it'll buffer. So it'll take about a day or so for it to come active on YouTube. You can watch what you did. By your third lesson from today, it needs to be perfect. You won't be doing this in your next lesson. We'll be getting a bit more aggressive with your driving, working a bit more on your mirror checks. Mm-hmm. But I want you to look at the difference in terms of your driving. The second time, it was better. Yeah. The first time, it was the first time you actually went onto the road. Perfectly fine driving. You did well. What you need to do, though, is be a bit more aware of your surroundings. Start looking in your mirrors more frequently and start looking for the things that affect you, especially cyclists. Yeah? Okay, so in a second, we're going to move off. We're going